first let me say this before I get started. Look, good student support, which is important here, I think, to take the next step, you know, which really you gotta thank them, because we haven't won a lot of games in here, so you gotta really be thankful that they came and they were loud and they did a good job. But I think, again, I'm gonna watch the tape, but I thought we competed better today and played better and played more the right way than we did against Dayton. Like I use Leon Ayers as an example. I'll watch the tape, but I felt like he played pretty good. He just didn't make. And I think that was the difference in the game. We had 5 or 6 open threes at crunch time that we didn't make and they made. Simple as that. And you know, you're looking at a very inexperienced team against a very experienced team. But you know, we showed a little bit better fight, and I certainly thought we played a better brand. Again, I watched the tape to be sure of it. But we played more the right way, I thought.
Well, Shuni obviously got his. I don't know, how did you try to approach that, and was it the kind of situation where you're like, he's gonna get his, he's a lot bigger, he's a good player, or
Yeah, he didn't get his on any post moves whatsoever. Do you know how he got his, right?
Yeah.
He got his because our guards got beat on the perimeter a little bit. We came to help. And he's a hard chip down guy. Like, it's hard to chip down on him because he's 7 feet or whatever he is. So he really didn't get many on just catch, post up, score. He got most of them just straight. Guy comes to help. So those are hard. Those are hard plays when you get beat. It's a symptom of the problem. The problem was we got beat on the perimeter, which caused us to have to come to help, which caused him to offensive rebound. So he got 13 offensive rebounds. I'd say the majority of those were his points. Simple as that. Now again, I watch the tape, but I'm almost positive.
So just to clarify, because Trey said, you know, I take blame for that, and part of that's just player being.
I think most of them weren't his fault.
Okay.
I think most of them were the perimeter guy's fault. 2 ways. One, getting beat, and secondly, chipping down on him. Now, it's hard for a 6'2" guy or 6'3" guy or 6'4" guy to chip down on him because he's 6'11" or whatever he is.
Yeah.
That's how he scores, but most of it is getting beat on the perimeter. And a lot of it was coming off of like down screens and getting tight into the middle of the lane, which is, it's hard to guard now. So now he's tight into the middle of the lane, he's driving to the rim. It wasn't straight like one-on-one beat, it was off of a down screen, going tight, and now we gotta come. We don't have any choice really. Little small, little tired, you know.
Keith, to your point about what you did right, things that you did well, I mean, like, Trey gets double-double and 1 foul against Asuni. You know, you held Boston to 7 attempts and 1 field goal. I mean, there's a lot right in that box score. Was it just sort of the first half not making enough that maybe you'd like to do over again?
I thought not only in the first half, but I thought when it mattered, we did make.
There's threes down the stretch or something.
Yeah, I mean, we had 5 or 6 open threes, right? We had Jackie's open 3, we had Tyson's open 3, Leon had 2 open 3s, and Trey Williams had an open 3. And I think easily had an open 3. I mean, if you make half of them, and they're open now, they weren't like, and then Lofton made his 3, his only 3 of the game. We went under and made a mistake. But look, we showed some progress. Again, I watch the tape and take a look at it. And in my heart of hearts, I don't think we're that far away. I don't think we're good right now, but I don't think we're that far away from being a pretty competitive team. I kind of felt like I did my first year here, where you can see the pieces, and I don't think we're that far. I really don't.
0 bench points tonight. How much is that, like, you know, I know that you're focused on defensive stuff and trying to get guys to get stops on that end. How much of a concern is it though when you bring some of those guys in to help defensively, that there's not much offense? You know?
Well, the only guy we played that, you know, we haven't played much is Mikey.
Right.
But he's the best perimeter defender. I just got tired of watching guys getting their brains beat in on the perimeter, so I'm gonna play him the rest of the year. I don't care if the score's 4-2, to be honest with you, because we're never gonna win in the long term until we can guard somebody. Now, he didn't play great defensively the first half, but he hadn't played in a long time, so I can't watch. Like I told our guys, like I watched the tape from Dayton, and 6 out of 7 first possessions were layups or dunks. I can't watch that shit. So I don't care what the end result is until we get that part of it and sharing the ball, we're never gonna be what we should be. So I'm gonna make sure that I set the groundwork in that, regardless of what happens. So 0 bench points is, we've never done a great job of scoring against them, except one time at Robert Morris, and they scored a lot that night too. Most of the time it's like this, right? We're right there, look, we're 3 or 5 points with 5 minutes to play, or 7, whatever, right? And we had our opportunities, we did a good job of executing some of our plays, we just didn't make.
Is this the kind of game that you look forward to looking at the video review, look forward to getting them back in practice, because they're starting to make some progress and you're anxious to see where they can take it?
I didn't think we practiced very good, to be honest with you, Jerry. And that's one good thing about me, is you're always gonna get the real. Like, we had kind of a weird week of practice. I didn't think we were great. So now it becomes, hey, look, you know, we gotta practice hard every single day, and we have to do our thing if we're gonna take the next jump. And I won't accept anything else. I don't care what happens. So we have to practice better, and I think we will. I think this will help us, even though it was a loss. Now, I told him, look, you can't accept this. You can't accept losing. I don't care, you know, what people think's supposed to happen. You have to win at home, and you have to expect to win those games. But again, they're playing with Kyle Lofton. We're playing with a freshman point guard who played pretty good. They're playing with Osuni. We're playing with the 6'7" guy, right? Attaway's had a great year. Easily kind of matched it up pretty good with him. You know, and then our main scoring guy, he had a rough night shooting the ball, but I thought he played pretty good. So, like, 4 for 20 doesn't bother me. I'm gonna go back and look, but I thought he tried to play the right way. I really do. Now, he didn't make some when it mattered, but as long as they play the right way, we're gonna win more than we lose. I didn't think we played the right way for the last 8 or 10 games, to be honest with you.
Where do you see Primo's ceiling being? It seemed like, you know, as a freshman, taking on that battle defensively and kind of shutting down Lofton, getting his own on offense, like you said. I don't know.
So all you gotta do is look at one line, and you'll be able to tell if he's making progress or not. You know what it is?
Assists?
Yeah, when he gets 6 assists a game or 7 assists a game, then you know he's made progress, because he hasn't. So I have unbelievably high expectations for him, and I'm gonna beat him up until he becomes what he should be. Right, and right now he's not what he should be. I take that back. He is what he should be, but he's not what he can be. So he's got a lot of ability. He's got a big time brain. He's got to get tougher. He's got to get better condition. He's got to bring it every single day, but he's got a boatload of ability. But he's got to do things when it matters, and he's got to do it every day. So he's a good piece to build around. Like, we've got some good pieces to build around. We need to keep recruiting hard, and you know, and keep adding to what we have. But we have some good pieces, and you know, like, Jerry's been fair with me. Like, we've lost a lot of good players, like, purposely and unpurposely. But like, we got guys playing all over the country that are having good years, right? So you can't expect that amount of turnover and really be really good, right? It's impossible. Most teams can't do that. So, and then with you add the 2 injuries on top of it, that becomes difficult. So if you look around at what those guys are doing, they had 2 or 3 good years of training, and now they're reaping the benefit, and they're old. Like, this is a young team. So I'm not disappointed. I don't really like to lose, and you know, people will say, well, it's year 5, right? Go look at go look at Coach Schmidt, who's regarded as one of the best coaches in the league, right? Go look at his first 8 years or 9 years. Now again, I didn't get hired here to wait 8 freaking years to go to the NCAA tournament. I'm not saying that. But again, I'll go back to, we were very close, right? We became very competitive, and we were very close, and then we had to reboot it. So we've done it once. So there's 4 parts to building a program, right? There's 4 parts. First, you have to turn it around and show that you're competitive, right? The second thing you got to do is you have to remain competitive, right? The third thing you got to do is you have to take the next jump and become championship quality, where you can win a championship. And the fourth one is you gotta be championship quality every year. So we became very competitive, right? And not quite championship quality. Or we didn't really get our chance to really see the year we were 21-9. And then we had to reload it. And sometimes it comes in year 5, and sometimes it comes in what, year 7? But everybody's had to do it, and you can look at his numbers. He's a really good coach. Look at his numbers, and you'll see he had to reboot it a couple times. Now, in the last 6 years, he's been really good, right? And everybody goes through it. Everybody goes through it, right? Everyone. So again, I'm not making any excuses, but what do we expect? We reloaded it, we rebooted it, we got a couple injuries. But if we play like that every night, we'll have a good team here, quicker than people think.
I know there's still a month and a half left in this season, but in the back of your head, if you think looking forward to next year when these kids have more experience and are better players?
Well, again, if you know me, like I'm into instant gratification, but I'm gonna build it long term for short term success. And every time I've ever done it, we've always had some success. So what do I mean by that? I'm not gonna accept not guarding people. I'm not gonna accept not sharing the ball. I'm not gonna accept bad attitudes. I don't care what happens, because you're not winning like that. So we're at the point where we drew the line in the sand. Our guys know it, right? And that's the way it is. And that's how you win championships. You can't be so insecure that you don't have any discipline in your program. And if the T word comes out that everybody's scared of, then the T word comes out. What's the T word, Jerry? Transfer, right? Because that's a character flaw if they transfer. Most of the time. So you're not winning anyway.
That's a concern for another day though, right?
I'm not worried about it. I swear I don't worry about it. Look, if you have to coach them for them to get better, and the ones that want to be coached will be fine, and the other ones won't. It's no different than, did you see Penny Hardaway's rant last night?
I did.
I did. I laughed. He's right. Like the expectation levels, like why do you think that the 1 year Calipari got his brains beat in? Because obviously those guys weren't good enough. Calipari didn't change any. So it's, and Kentucky's good again, so like it's, the roof isn't falling in. You have to have enough belief in yourself. Like I've had some years where I didn't win, or we didn't win. We's a better term. But I've won a lot of games over the years, so I believe in myself. If we get the right guys at the right time, we're gonna win.
Do you have a sense that these guys are the right guys?
Yeah, I think we got some good guys. I think we have some good pieces. We need more. You know, we need to be a little bit bigger. We need to be a little bit bigger, and we need to keep learning how to play. We're not too far away. I feel like we've got some good players. I don't think we're there yet. But we're gonna use this year to learn how to do it the right way. Because it's gonna be hard for us to win a regular season championship this year with our circumstances. But that doesn't mean we can't win, and that doesn't mean that we can't build the foundation to win. That's what we did our first year here. We went 16-16 and 7-11 after inheriting a 8-22 and a 3-15 A-10 team. So we just have to do the same thing, regardless of the results. Like I told our guys this, play the right way. I don't care what the score is. Play the right way. That means make the right play whether you're up 10 or down 10. Now, we didn't do it perfectly, and it's a fine line. You know, guys that are talented, they feel like they can score whenever they get it. But it's still not right. Any other questions?
Keith, this year with this team in its current state, things like battling back, the intangibles, just how important are those with this team, and how important is it to believe in those things?
Well, I think the whole game is intangibles. So what's the good thing about St. Bonaventure? Are they great? Their pieces, the sum of the parts are greater than their individual pieces. That's what makes them great. They have some great pieces. You know, Jalen Attaway, Lofton, right? Osuni, Welch, Holmes. They just piece well together. So I think we've got some good pieces. Now we got to get the next piece and then keep developing players.
Coach, with the exception, arguably, the Fordham game, Kevin Easley has probably been your most consistent player, at least production-wise. Will give you 13, 14, 7 on like 5-11 shooting like tonight. Would you like to see him potentially take more shots and be an even bigger part of the offense, since he's someone that can pretty much get a shot anytime he wants, especially early on when it felt like it was just Leon Ayers just trying to take shots? You like to see more Kevin Easley?
I mean, he's probably capable of getting a few more shots, but then you fight that other battle, right? What's a good shot? He's pretty good right into his role right now. We need to get more probably post touches for him, maybe, you know. And but sometimes, like if guys do more, they do less. Again, I'm not justifying it. I'm sure if we play a little better together, he'll get more. If he gets to the right spots, he'll get more. Like the thing I liked about him tonight, when he got the offensive rebound, he kicked one out. He hadn't done that. That's a mistake, right? The best three balls are off those offensive rebounds, and he was getting some blocked. So he's listening, but what he is he has to be the best at everything. He's never going to be the best athlete on the floor, but he can be a good defender, a good passer, a good teammate, a good scorer, and he certainly has shown he can rebound. Right? He's a consistent 6, 7, 8, 9 rebound guy. So it's a good question. It's a hypothetical question. I don't really know the answer to it, but I think he's pretty good in his role right now, better than he was at TCU for sure, and a little bit more like how he was at Chattanooga. So I kind of like where he is. I mean, of course, you know, when the numbers don't lie, he's going to gravitate towards his numbers. He had 3 games he didn't shoot the ball very well, but I think when he's open, he's going to make most of the time. And he's got a good little funny flip, around the rim. He's just got a knack. He's just a good. But I think if he can get a little better shape, a little stronger, now he becomes more of a defensive presence. I would argue that he needs to be even better defensively than he does having to score the ball. That's where my argument would be, and especially for his development to the next level. It's a good question, though.
I saw at the end of the game you had your arm around Primo for a little bit there, talking to him on the sideline. What was that conversation about? And I guess secondarily, or maybe similarly, I've seen him doing the same thing to guys out on the court for freshmen. How much do you rely on his sort of leadership too?
So the conversation was, look, you played pretty good. You played really good for a young guy, right? But you probably should have moved the one that you shot. And at crunch time, you got to get through that wide down screen, regardless of the circumstances, whether you get help or not. Like, you have to make that play for us to really win down the line. Now, he's dead on his feet a little bit. The next step for him is better condition. But I thought that was the best he played, trying to get people involved. And until he does that every single night, we're going to have our struggles. Like, I don't really care what he scores. He's capable of scoring, but those 6 assists are what we need. And we need probably 4 or 5 from Leon, too. Now, he didn't get many. He got 3. But I thought, again, he kind of probed it pretty good overall.
Is it? Thank you.